So give me 1 second. So what we're going to do, guys, I'm talking to everybody, including Connor, of course. I am going to solve one of the airline problems, and I'm going to just grab it from here. Let me see what's the best way to do it. Okay, I am going to do it non-visually because most of your middle school teachers, and it doesn't hurt to do a little bit of algebra. And for this one, probably algebra is not a bad tool. So guys, again, we are recording one of the airline problems. So let's read the question. An airline passenger fell asleep 2/3 of the way. Okay, and my drawing won't be perfect. Okay, it doesn't have to be perfect, but if it says something is 1/3, even if it doesn't look like 1/3, you assume it is. So this is the whole trip. Okay, first I'm going to cut it into 1/3. I'm going to use different colors. I'll tell you why. I'm going to make a yellow here and another yellow here. Okay, the yellow parts, the yellow vertical lines split the entire trip into 3 equal parts, roughly. And I'm going to assume it's exactly. Are you with me so far, Connor?
Yes, sir.
Okay, the second yellow part is where the person or passenger falls asleep. At this point, she falls asleep. Because that's what this 2/3 means.
Yes, sir.
Now, somewhere, I'm just going to use pink because I need to refer to it. Somewhere while the plane is still flying, I'm going to say the pink spot, she wakes up. Well, let's just write wakes up. She wakes up. Now, I have to understand that right here, she is asleep. Okay, this purple straight line without the blue zigzag is where she's awake. Okay, this part she's awake, this part she's awake, this part she's awake. This is asleep. She's asleep during the wavy symbol. Okay, now this part is very hard and you really want to make sure you get it. Okay, they're saying when she awoke at the pink point, the distance remaining is this distance. It's 1/7 of the distance traveled right over the wavy part, traveled while she slept. If the sleeping part is x, this has to be x/7. And this is really what you want to understand. This second line, the one that I underlined, is the hardest part because this part says, when she awoke at the pink mark, the distance remaining, which is the last section of the purple line, must be 1/7 of the distance traveled while she slept. Now we are saying she slept over the wavy part, and we are calling this x. This wavy part is x, so this is x. This has to be x/7. Does that make any sense, Connor?
Yes.
Good. This is the hardest part, Connor. You're going to say, come back to this. Let's go back to purple. And it's a hard problem. And I'm glad somebody asked me. This is 1/3. This is 1/3. This is 1/3. Okay. You're more interested in this. You're going to set up an equation, easy equation. X plus 7 is 1/3. And you solve for x and you're done. Okay, I can't solve for x. I need the same denominator, and that's why I'm going to say 7x over x, sorry, plus x/7. And I'm running out of space, but we're going to, if you don't mind, we're going to go here. Is equal to 1/3. Okay, the denominator is 7, so on top I have 7x plus x over 7 over 7 is equal to 1/3. 7x plus 8, x is 8x over 7 is equal to 1/3. Almost done. Almost done. Okay, so I'm going to cross multiply. 3 times 8 is 24x. You do it the way your teacher taught you. 7 times 1 is 7. Almost there. And you need to find the value of x. That's your fraction. What fraction of the whole trip? X is 7/24. So in summary, guys, drawing this picture inside the purple circle is the hardest part. And the sentence that's underlined blue in the question is a hard sentence to process. Make sure you process those two things right. And then solve this little equation, which is coming from this circle. So what do you think, Connor?
So how did,
Go ahead.
so I understood the, you got the x plus the x/7 equals the 1/3. You got the 1/3 because there's two out of, there are
Right. This
parts.
is two, correct.
then
This is 1/3. This is 1/3.
Right.
This has to be 1/3. It comes from this
And
fraction.
so
It comes from
gotcha.
this
You're
fraction.
saying that x plus the x/7 is equal to that
Correct.
1/3
Correct.
part.
Correct.
Gotcha.
And
Okay.
then the solving is, you know how to solve it. That's the hardest part, to write
Right.
that equation correctly. And that
Okay.
equation, this blue line that underlined in the question, when she awoke, the distance remaining is 1/7 of the distance traveled while she slept. So put your sleeping distance, call it x. Awake distance after she woke up has to be x/7.
Okay. Yeah. I don't know if we did an example like this
I think
a
we
couple of
did.
weeks
We
ago.
did. We did.
Okay.
I did
I
one.
know we did an example like it, but we didn't do it like with the fractions and everything.
Well,
and I think that's
yeah,
what we're
you're
doing.
right. I think I did it visually, but this one is a little messy visual. It can be done. It can be done.
Right,
But I think the visual one is a little messy. Just to let you know, yesterday, if I'm not mistaken, I started with, take a look at the lesson. It's quite likely I did
Okay.
another one like this. Yesterday, I recorded it. A lot of people messed this up, so I recorded it. Take a look at that again. It may not be the exact same problem, but it's done algebraically. That will just help you guys.
Okay.
So what else do you want
Thank
me to
you.
do? Sure. What else? So let me go back to the question. Airline, potassium, Chris, Dorothy, Eugene, which one? I know you won't.
Let's do Andy and Bob, if you don't mind.
No, I don't mind. Okay, let's do Andy and Bob. I'm just going to do the first one. You try the other ones by looking at the exam. Okay.
Okay.
And just for the record, it's similar to, we did a problem where it goes more like, I think the girls' names were Fiona or something else, Elizabeth and Fiona. I don't remember, but it's in our fractions packet. I changed the names to other names, right? Andy and Bob. Okay. All right. It's not as bad as you guys think. And I'm talking to everybody who's going to listen to this recording later. Okay. So 1/7 of Andy's money is same as 1/5. Take this one and this one, multiply them. It's easy. 1 times 1 is 1. I'm going to make, this is Andy's money. You get 1. So the equal portions will be, I'm going to label it. So this is, I'm going to make Andy's money red, pink, and I'm going to write Andy here. All right, Bob here. Okay. I multiplied the two numerators, 1 and 1, 1. So this is Andy's 1/7. This red square represents
Right.
Andy's 1/7, and the blue square represents Bob's 1. They clearly match. They're the same amount. So I'm so far so good. With me?
Yes, sir.
Awesome. Now, if this is 1/7, Andy must have 6 more. If this is 1/7 of Andy's money, he must have 6 more. That's the only way this will be 1/7. I'm not going to stick it. Excuse me. I'm not going to stick it. I want to see this is, oh, well, I can put it like this. All right. Now, if the blue square is 1/5 of Bob's money, Bob must have 4 more. That's the only way. The one blue square will be 1/5 of all of his money. Would you accept that?
Yes, sir.
Good. And I'm not going to stick it and lose the, well, we can. Let's stick it. And I'm going to tell you why it's not a bad choice. And I'm going to take this line. Okay. Now, very carefully, I can clearly see 1/7 of Andy's money. Andy has 7 equal parts. 1/7 of Andy's money is 1 square. And Bob has 5 equal parts. 1/5 of Bob's money is 1 square. So they are equal. I can clearly see that. So I don't think I messed up. Now, it says if the difference between the two amounts of the money the two boys had was 8, what is the difference? This is the difference. This has to be
Right.
the $8. Good. Let me write it a little better. The 2 squares extra amount. It doesn't say who has more. Clearly, Andy has more. Andy has $8 more. I'm going to write $8 right here. If 2 squares represent $8, 1 square represents what? Connor? Wouldn't it be $4?
4.
Good. We're almost
Yes,
done.
sir.
Almost done. How much money did each have? Well, Andy had 7 boxes. Each box represents $4. So Andy had, there will be 2 answers to this question. Andy had $4 times 7 is 28. And Bob had 5 boxes, and each box represents $4 again. 4 times 5 is 20. And let's check. Clearly, the difference between the two amounts is $8. So the first check is fulfilled. And find 1/7 of 28. 28 divided by 7 is 4. And find 1/5 of 20, which is also 4, and 4 is equal to 4. So even this part, the first part matches. Generally, when one part matches, the other generally matches, but it's a good habit to check both. So my answers are this.
Awesome. That was awesome. Thank you
Good.
so much for that.
Yeah,
'Cause
it's
that makes
not the
way
worst
more
problem.
sense than it did before.
Good. I'm glad you stopped by. But what else do you want to do? Let's go
Let me
back.
look real quick.
Yeah. Look at your exam. Read the question. I'll find it here. I won't open your exam because we are recording.
Okay. So let's see here. Give me 1 second. Making sure I have what I need. I think that was it. Just those 2 mainly. Let me double check one more time.
Sure.
1 second. I think that's it.
Awesome.
If I do have another question later, I will definitely
Sure.
shoot you an email.
You can
I
always
really do
stop
appreciate
by.
it.
Right. Absolutely, Connor. Thank you for stopping by. Now you can hang around. I'll do another geometry recording. But if you want to leave, be my guest. You can stay here. Your choice. All right.
Okay. Awesome. Thank you.
Sure. All right, guys. So we are back. We are back with our geometry packet. I would like to, as promised, I would like to finish this packet. We did 12. We did 13. We did 13B. Let's do 14. And that's the last one we're going to record today. All right, guys. We're going to record 14. 14 is not difficult. If you were sitting with me in my class, I would ask you to do it. And most of my students by now will be able to do it. So I'm going to record it anyway. So let's do this. Is the last one we're going to do from this packet. And the ones I haven't done, I will remember it. And they will not be on your exam, the ones I have not done. If I go back and say, well, there is one problem really hard, I may not do it, actually 2. But I haven't decided yet, okay? So let's read this question, guys. The octagon, this whole shape is 8-sided. Let's count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay, fine. They didn't mess up. Okay, that's not a good choice. So we're gonna fix this here. Okay, this is an octagon, fine. They're saying 8 congruent small squares, 1 large square. I can see it. The large square is red. 8 congruent small squares are blue. The perimeter of the whole shape. So all of this is 28. A little hard to draw straight lines because I'm using my mouse. The perimeter of the large square is 12. This is a very key item. Okay, so perimeter of large square is 12 means this is 12. However, I'm not going to worry about that. I'm going to claim this is 12. Why would I do that? Because I want to move towards the perimeter of the whole shape. This is 12. How can I say so? Because this matches this piece. This matches this piece, like a door. Now, rest of the squares are the little sides of the blue square. I'm going to make it pink. I'm going to assume each edge of the blue square is X. I'm going to write only one of them here, X. The yellow or golden edges all add up to 12. Why? Because they together form the perimeter of the red square. Now I can set up a nice clean equation. 12, the golden 12. And how many pink X's do I have? I'm going to count it. 1, 2. Well, let's count it nicely. And then we're going to erase it. I'm going to count it like so. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So from here, we're going to take 8X. And we're going to take 8X. So the pink edges all together, they're 8X. And when you add 12 to 8X, it accounts for the entire perimeter of the octagon, which is 28. So I'm going to write 28 here. Now I can solve for X and I'll have what I need. I'll subtract 12 from both sides. And what do I get? 24, 8 minus 2 is 6. And I think it's 16. I'm going to double 20. Yeah, it's 16. 28, it's 16. Okay. Now, what is X now? Give me 1 second. I have a little square here that's bothering me a little bit. Okay. So X is excuse me, X is 16 over 8, which is 2. What is the perimeter of the blue square? It has to be, each side of the blue square is 2. So my answer has to be 4 times 2, 8. My answer has to be, I'm going to write it on top. 2 plus 2 plus 2. I'm going to just write 4 times 2. 8. And what's the unit? Inches. I will quickly check my answer. If I have something in the packet, I generally like to check it. It is 8, just for the record. So this is correct. So that's all the recording we're going to do today, but I'll hang around. We still have another 30 minutes. I'll be here, but I'm going to stop recording. We'll see if people have any kind of general questions. Let me stop recording first, and then you can ask me more questions. Oh, you can ask. By the way, Connor, I know you're still here. Do you have any questions about this one? The one we did?
No, sir. No, sir.
Okay, good. So let's see. Clear drawing.